Hi guys, Peter Finch here down at the Quest Golf Academy, and today we're going to be doing the fourth video in a 6-video series about how you can hit the ball longer. We've already done 3 videos on the setup, on the takeaway and on the wrist hinge within the backswing. And now we're going to talk about the body turns, which are the real engine of hitting the ball a long way. As always, if you haven't watched the previous videos, they are listed here, and it's very important that you watch those first, although you can use this as a standalone instructional video to help improve your body turns as well. Now, first of all, what do I mean by body turns? Because a lot of people just assume that on the backswing, it's simply the shoulders which need to rotate, and that is what adds the power. Unfortunately, it's not quite that simple, because how you move your hips during the backswing is also key. So I have 2 alignment sticks here. I've got one through my belt, and I've also got one which I'm going to use as my shoulder line as well. And this is just to demonstrate what you want to be seeing within the backswing. We've already spoken about that takeaway, we've already spoken about the wrist hinge, so we're not going to be talking about that here. This is just simply what you want to be doing with these 2 parts of your body, and hopefully how the rest of the body will respond to those turns. After you've got set up and you've moved the club away from the ball, you want to be rotating the upper half back, so you get at least 90 degrees rotation in relation to the target of those shoulders. But just notice how my hips have also rotated away from the ball as well. Now this is very, very important, because a lot of people try to rotate the shoulders as much as possible whilst keeping the lower half very still. Unfortunately for most people and for most pro golfers, doing that actively restricts the amount of turn that the upper body has. As long as the lower half can remain stable, there is absolutely nothing wrong with allowing hip rotation within the backswing. In fact, it is something which should be actively encouraged for a lot more people. Now, using a drill like this is just a fantastic way to enable you to see where your rotation is at. So if you get into a proper posture position like you want to be doing when you're hitting a shot, and you concentrate on rotating the shoulders and always making sure that they outstrip the amount of hip turn that you have. Now just notice that during this turn, yes, my shoulders are rotating more than my hips, but my knees and my lower half are staying very, very stable. That's because I don't want to be rotating and turning all the way off to the right hand side, and I certainly don't want to be sliding left and right too much at all. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be focusing on letting my right hip rotate out of the way. I don't want it to lift upwards, which you can also see, and this is a good drill for that. I just want it to rotate out the way, and I also want my right knee to stay nice and firm. If I rotate out the way and my right knee comes back a little bit, it's not the end of the world, but I don't want to see it fully straighten at the top of my backswing. I also don't want to see it move off to the right hand side, and I don't want to see it kick too much in. I just want to try and hold the right knee in its current position, rotate the shoulders, and rotate that hip. My left knee will come in slightly. If it stayed where it was, I will be much more flexible than I am at the moment. Now, as I move away and as I turn up to the top and I have those rotations, there is a little trick that you can use during the downswing to help maximize distance. Now, this is allowing the left hip to go, allowing the left hip to turn, whilst trying to keep the shoulders back where they are. Now, this increases the difference in the angle between the shoulders and the hips. We're going to be speaking about this movement a little bit more in the transition phase of the swing, which is going to be the next video, but it's a great little thing to do whilst you've got this apparatus set up. So getting up to the top of the swing, rotating away, keeping the right knee where it is, but allowing the hip to turn, and then just practicing moving that hip left, moving the weight left, and trying to get the hips opening more whilst keeping the shoulders back. Now this is a great exercise to use, and it will also increase the amount of potential energy that you can have during the downswing. So after you've used that drill, what type of feelings do you want when you've actually got the club in the hand? Because obviously using something like that is a great visual representation, but you can't hit any shots with that. So what do we want to see when the club is back in our hands? Now, first of all, as you're taking it away and as you're extending that club backwards, You can very much use the same thought process as far as the lower half is concerned, keeping that right knee nice and still, allowing those hips to turn. And what you really want to see is very simply that left shoulder turning underneath the chin and the body rotating away from the target. If you can match that in with the takeaway that we've already spoken about, the wrist hinge, and the nice positions that we already know that we should do, you should be set up into a great position at the top of your swing. Now, it's not easy to work on these things all at once, and I would actively encourage you not to. Take it stage by stage, work on it stage by stage, and try and integrate these things within the swing. So, I've had that practice. I'm going to get that right knee stable, get the hip rotating, and really turn those shoulders away from the ball as much as I can. Not bad at all. Hitting a rare little vein of form here. Yeah, not bad. Right guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you think about this power series of videos. And as I said in the first video, make sure that before you start practicing these things, that you have a standing marker on that golf course, something which you are aiming to beat, something which will allow you to get to the range and practice these movements. And let me know how you're getting on. Right guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, follow me in the links below, and we'll see you down here next time.